Alright, so far, so good. Oh no, what's just happened? What is this? Oh, I forgot WCS. Oh, okay, they introduced these new player intro things, and that's my camera hotkey to swap to the in-game overlay. So, that looked a little bit awkward, but hello and welcome everybody. We're in the 2 versus Tournament version 2.2. Basically, the second ever 2v2 tournament. I'm looking forward to this. We got some good games out of the last one. They were incredibly fun. They were definitely different than what we're used to seeing. But I gotta get these sponsors, or the sponsor for our channel back up. So let me just take care of that really quick. Not make it too big, too invasive. Aha! Cheers for gaming. Oh. But alright, so to start this off, in the bottom left corner of the map, Team Simjang, I believe it was, combination of Root Catz, I think one of the only foreigners in the tournament, and Root Hydra.
Oh, in the upper right, yeah, I was in the right location. It's the red Protoss parting, and the purple Zerg Sacsri as team
BigBoys.
BigBoys. Okay.
I love that team.
No, I don't have any 2v2 overlay on.
Ah,
I guess it was on my old computer.
I was gonna say, even though I had reminded you.
I was just like, the old one worked out for me because I didn't have the same problems that you did.
Well,
but that was an old computer.
Because I know some people are gonna ask about team colors, I will tell you right now. We learned last week team colors are a bad thing to enable, as they break the 2 versus 2 overlay. So we're not gonna have that on for today. So you will have to enjoy the jumble of colors. You also can't swap the teams around like you normally can, but that's all besides the point. Parting is gonna start this off in a very parting manner. He's gonna go for a cannon rush. Oh, cheeky bugger that he is. The nice thing, though, this is not like your typical cannon rush. If Catz gets screwed out of this, there's always the chance, or pardon me, it's Hydra, actually. If Hydra gets screwed out of a natural base, the thing is Catz can help float him over. Some cash, they can make up the difference and possibly bandage this for later. But we did learn that cheese isn't the end-all, be-all of the 2v2s, as we saw a lot of cheese last time. In fact, look at this. Guacamole! Guacamole! It's too late. No, maybe not. Get on top of the pylon.
You know what I really hope? I really hope that he goes Burrow Erosion at some point, so he could be like whack-a-mole, or like guacamole.
Whack-a-mole.
Okay.
Well,
he's not going to be able to take care of all these cannons. I'm sure he's still trying.
It's really unfortunate. There's a chance that maybe he could have if he got there a little bit sooner, of course, but looks like Hydra will lose his natural base, and I'm sure there's a little bit of yelling going on in the team house right now. Why did you save it
Who was
better?
on cannon duty? Fear Dragon!
God, don't remind me. But 2 queens on, I mean, this is the dynamic that is 2v2. You actually have more units to fight with. So, while normally 4 lings and 1 queen is all that would be out at this point, 2 queens is actually doing a lot more to this. Let's not forget that teammates can transfuse one another. But Hydra, there we go, gets saved, barely. And looks like they will clean up the first 2 cannons. Can they get the 3rd one?
They spent a lot of money on it, though.
But so did Parting. I mean, this is more than just a small investment.
Yeah, I guess so. Actually, no, I think the still is Parting in Sacsri's game, you know? Like, they both double expanded. And now they have a Forge Wall off. And they know what their opponent's doing, kind of. I mean, they see that their roaches are out. One person has speed, the other person doesn't. I mean, they're getting a lot from this cannon rush. Maybe the last cannon was unnecessary. We should have canceled that one.
Well, good guy Parting walls off for both players behind this, so they're actually both going to get away with an expansion for now. The tentative for now, though, because, of course, there are a lot of roaches marching across the map, and normally, well, a couple of roaches isn't that big of a deal. They're going to be joined by Catz bailing bus, perhaps, to break this wall.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about, is that there's no way that Parting would have scouted that, you know? He saw the roaches, so, you know, a couple cannons, a couple more cannons, and you're probably okay, but the bailing bust is not going to be expected, and Sacsri won't have his own banelings, although he will have a baneling nest. No, he's morphing some banelings.
No, he's got his own banelings, but you can't really wiggle those through the wall the same way. Again, the dynamic of this game, it shifts greatly, guys, for this, but with 2 cannons up, it's still going to be hard for Catz to actually connect to those banelings, should he actually make them. Remember, the nest is down. It's down, but it doesn't mean he has to use it. But looks like he will try and segment them off to the side. So while Sacsri's got some decent Overlord coverage, he will not see it just yet.
What else is really good about Parting's wall is that he put that 3rd pylon behind everything, so, you know, the cannons won't get depowered, most likely, you know, not for a long time, and that's going to add a lot of damage. Hopefully enough for them to survive.
Well, he's going to try and focus on that first cannon. A force field is almost available.
Decided not to use it. That was ended up being a good choice. I don't know what happened with Catz, but choosing not to break down the one pylon and waste it on the second pylon.
Well, I was actually going to break down that first one, because I guess he saw the one coming behind it. You know, saw that extra layer going into the wall. But the force fields, are they going to be good enough to keep the roaches out? The cannons are down at this point. There's a lot of links for Sacsri. I think even if they break through, Hydra can't really do that much damage.
Yeah, this isn't going to work. You know, Sacsri's actually, you know, they're both working really hard, but Sacsri has a lot of units. So Parting just puts down as much cannons as possible, and he just makes units. It's easy peasy.
Well, they're both, Cat's going to turn back home and start making his own defensive banelings, and he should ideally be able to hold this. Sacsri got a couple of drones mixed in with the army. But this is the wonderful thing about 2v2s. Let's say this goes really poorly and Catz decides to go for just mass links for the time being, or Hydra decides to. They can feed each other the unnecessary resources. So while we have Sacsri, for example, investing in a Spire, it's actually not too hard for Parting to send him the gas for it while he continues to invest in more cannons at home or something like this.
Yeah. You know, Catz, Hydra being Zerg, you know, both of them Zerg, it really does work out nicely for these early game attacks, although this one didn't, which is still unfortunate. But when it comes to the mid game, late game, I wonder what their choice will be. I mean, I would think if I was in their position that one person would go Spire and the other one would go Roach Hydra, I would expect. But we don't see anything yet from either player.
Yeah, this is, I mean, I really assumed with Catz signing up with Hydra, there was going to be a lot of pre-planning going into this, the dedication of attacks and all that. And I'm not sure, maybe if Parting hadn't started this off with a cannon rush, you know, Catz had those links out really quick, they would have been across the map. Maybe he gets into the base and does some harass, but Parting going and embracing his full Protoss right now has almost got +1 weapons complete. He's got a lot of gateways coming down. The follow-up support for Sacsri is going to be absolutely fantastic.
And we actually have Hydra going for an infestation pit, so a lot of infestors.
Yeah, they'll work out well because there are, of course, Mutalisks on the way, and I think what's really cool is they can give each other spore crawlers, as we see. Hydra's building a spore crawler in Catz's mineral line for him, or trying to at least, getting a little bit drone blocked.
Work out. I don't think the drones move for an allied's building.
No, it's a bit of a nuisance, but still, it's got one over here, so the coverage is going to be there.
Oh, it's stupid. Alright, so what's Catz gonna do? Okay, this is a nice ling attack. It might be able to kill him. Banelings aren't, no, they're waddling over right now, so they barely will save that third hatchery.
Maybe. He's actually got quite a few lings on this. Alright, he's gonna jab it back. But, you know, the interesting thing for Parting, he's got a lot of units coming. These are sentries galore, and it's 2 Zerg players. You know, 1 Zerg player feels the burn of force fields. 2 definitely feel it as well. Sadly, there's no massive units out, so crushing those are out of the question. But spore coverage is down. His infestors are on the way soon-ish.
Now would be more useful than soonish.
Yeah, well, it's so close to popping, but it's not the mutants being out of control just yet that is scary. It is, of course, these sentries. If you get the force fields on that one ramp, it blocks out so much reinforcement potential. But Hydra tentative to engage. He doesn't want to get these roaches wasted. He's waiting until he's got more. There's the infestors. Fungal growths need to land. They do cover some of the sentries. Get some of the Mutalisks as well. This was actually fantastic fungals coming out of Hydra to hold this position, and looks like they will hold off this attack.
All the sentries popped and it was glorious. But it is most of the infested energy.
It is, but it's Catz. If you, I thought he was going to reinforce on links, but he's actually moving towards Hydras. Now spending that larva on links, realizing that he needs to help his teammate out. The Stalkers are fairly low. The Queens are doing what they can. This is, again, a normally large amount of Queens due to double Zergs, but this base is ultimately going to go down, and this is not looking so good. I thought they were going to hold this, but I take that back because right now Parting is kind of getting out of hand. He doesn't have Blink. It's just Stalkers. But, oh god, the infestors get picked off.
Yeah, this is looking like BigBoys' game, and kind of deserved. I mean, the cannon rush was an investment, but it ended up being exactly what it needed to have, just a forge down, you know, walling off like that. And I just feel like, you know, Protoss might have a better time in the mid game, but then again, can't be sure for that.
It's really interesting. We didn't see Phoenixes this game. Do you recall, like, Phoenixes in the first 2v2 tournament turned out to be the most overpowered, imbalanced things, but...
Yeah. And what is Parting's next plan, you know? That was a mid-game all-in, but it's kind of weird to say that because, well, he killed a base, and also you have your partner to back up.
Well, it did buy the advantage of getting Sacsri a lot of swarm hosts.
Yeah, Sacsri's been banking a lot of money that entire time. Could maybe... give some cash to Parting or something. Let him get a third base. Okay.
I do feel a little bit sore for Team Simjang down here, though, because if you know, as much as this game is kind of unique and cool and different in a 2v2 setting, one thing it doesn't change is you definitely want to keep expanding, and that's something that Team BigBoys definitely has on their side. They got their natural bases down a lot easier, a lot sooner, now their thirds as well.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Catz and Hydra is gonna die into the mid game, late game.
A couple of clutch family shots. They got a good chunk of the lings.
Ooh, that is pretty low supply. Surprise.
Surprise. You know, Sacsri's actually the only one in triple digits for this game.
Yeah. And he has swarm hosts that are just really super close to his opponent's base. It's never a good thing.
I wonder, it's Roach Hydra, but it's one player going Roach and the other player going Hydra.
Yeah. I think I've seen this 2v2 strat, but I really expected something different.
Well, beating back the Swarm Host is going to be a challenge to say the least. Catz going to use his Banleys to break that first wave. Sacsri realizing positioning is yielded, but Hydra dives through Stalkers for this and sadly can't. Oh, there we go. With the Banleys connected, the Hydra GG is called in game number 1. We'll go to Team BigBoys. Woo! Now, of course, I know a lot of folks don't have the teams